Before you publish your site live to the web, it's generally a good idea to always run the spell checker before sending your pages up, where anybody visiting your site could potentially see some embarrassing spelling mistakes. Contribute features a built-in spell checker like most word processing programs do. And to run the spell checker, simply click at the top of your document or near the top of your document. Like the find and replace command, the spell checker works from the top to the bottom and will loop around back to the top if you want it to when it reaches the bottom of the page. But with my cursor somewhere on my page, I'll choose Format, Check Spelling. And if you've used spell checkers in other word processing programs, this works very similarly. First of all, it'll flag any words that it doesn't recognize from its built-in dictionary. In this case, the word oxidized is misspelled, and it makes a suggestion. There's the proper spelling of oxidized. It also offers several other possible things I might have meant to have typed here. So if oxidized wasn't the correct word, I can look through the list. And if none of these are the correct word, I can actually just select the change to field here and type the correct word in. But in this case, this is the right word, so I'm going to choose to change. And you can see it changed it right there. Next, it found te. I obviously mean to type the there. But notice it suggested the word tech. That's incorrect. So I'm going to come through here and find the proper word and click change. Next word is gree. Contains more caffeine than gree teas. Obviously, that should be green teas. And again, it suggested a word that's not the correct change. In this case, agree. But here's the correct one right there. We'll change that. Next, it found the word polyphenol, and I know that is spelled correctly. It's just not in the dictionary correctly. So I'm going to choose to ignore that, meaning we'll just go right by that without making any changes at all. Now, because I didn't start the spell check at the top of the document, it tells me it's reached the end of the page and asks if I want to continue spell checking from the top of the page, and I'll say yes. Now, the next word it finds is T-Cloud, and it suggests breaking that into two words. But of course, that's the name of the company, and that is spelled correctly. But I notice that T-Cloud is not highlighted anywhere on my page here, and if you look closely, you will not find the word T-Cloud here at all. So where it's finding this is actually in the name of the page title here, T-Cloud about T-Types. So not only does the spell checker check the contents of the page, it also checks the title of the page, which makes sense because people browsing to your site will see the title of the page. Now I know this is spelled correctly, and I could choose to ignore it, but because this is the name of my company, and I don't want to have contribute flag T-Cloud every time it comes across when I'm spell checking, I'm going to choose add, which adds the word T-Cloud to Contribute's built-in dictionary, so the next time it comes across that word, it'll know that the word is not misspelled. Contribute tells me my spell check is now complete, and I can be relatively sure that the words are properly spelled, but it never hurts to go through and just read from top to bottom, because as you know, there are words that may sound alike that are spelled completely differently. For instance, your and your, or there and there, and so on and so on. Also, you might find instances like what we have right here. The word the appears twice. Both instances are spelled correctly, but it's obviously a mistake to have two of them here. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. So the spell checker does a good job of catching misspelled words, but it's still up to you to read your document closely to make sure that there aren't any other misspellings or grammatical errors in your document before you publish it to the web for everyone to see.